Top 20 Natural Wonders that were left out. The 7 natural wonders of the world that we all grew up learning about were the Grand Canyon, the Great Barrier Reef, the Port of Rio de Janeiro, Mount Everest, the Aurora Borealis, the Paricutin Volcano, and Victoria Falls. However, a Swiss firm by the name of New 7 Wonders started a project with UNESCO in 2001 to choose new wonders by popular vote. On July 7, 2007, a brand new ranking of the top 7 man-made wonders was revealed in response to more than 100 million public votes. Later that year, on November 11, 2011, the votes for the 7 New Wonders of Nature campaign were tallied. Following the announcement, the following were included on the list of the 7 natural wonders of the world: Table Mountain, Jeju Island, Komodo Island, Halong Bay, Iguazu Falls, and the Amazon River. In contrast to the 7 winning entries, which I knew would be spoken about for years to come, I was more interested in looking at the submissions that didn't make the cut because they would soon be forgotten. Only 20 of the 28 candidates from the public's list are represented here. All of the contributions are listed in alphabetical order because I am unable to determine which is better. Number 20, Yushan, Taiwan. Yushan, sometimes referred to as Jade Mountain, is the tallest mountain in Southeast Asia and the highest point in the Yushan mountain range. The mountain's summit rises to a height of 3,952 meters above sea level, and it then drops 4,000 meters to the ocean's surface. The mountain's name refers to how it appears in the winter when it is covered in frost and like a smooth, uncut piece of jade. Beautiful conifers grow at the base of the mountain all summer long. Due to the area's diverse range of climates, the mountain and the nearby Yushan National Park are home to over 186 different kinds of butterflies, as well as over 140 species of birds, 28 species of animals, and 17 species of reptiles. Number 19, Vesuvius, Italy. Mount Vesuvius, a well-known volcano in Italy, lies around 9 kilometers from Naples. It is a large mountain with a single cone that is surrounded by the rim of the caldera, which collapsed into the Monte Somma, a much larger original peak. Mount Vesuvius has erupted over 30 times over the past 2,000 years, with the most famous eruption notably destroying Pompeii, a town near Naples, and burying it under 4 to 6 meters of ash and pumice in 79 AD. After being unearthed and dug up in 1794, the hamlet is today recognized as a World Historic Site and a top tourist attraction. Despite the fact that none of the eruptions since 79 AD had been more disastrous, the last eruption of Vesuvius took place in 1944. The mountain is climbed by millions of visitors every year who come to see the crater, and the area around the peak is now recognized as a national park. Number 18, Uluru, Australia. South of Central Australia is where the gigantic Uluru Sandstone Formation may be found. Aboriginal Australians hold Uluru in high regard as a holy site, and the sandstone mound contains multiple caverns that are home to their prehistoric rock art. Although Uluru stands 348 meters above the ground and 9.4 kilometers in diameter, the most of it is hidden. It is believed that Uluru is a minor remnant of the enormous mountain ranges that originally stood nearby. It is a popular tourist site, takes about an hour to climb, and has many streams, springs, and water holes. Number 17, Sundarbans, Bangladesh and India. The Sundarbans are the biggest saline mangroves in the world. Its name translates to beautiful jungle or beautiful forest. The mangrove is created by the confluence of the Padma, Brahmaputra, and Meghna rivers. Around 10,000 square kilometers in size, the Sundarbans is home to saline-tolerant mangroves near the coast and freshwater forests farther inland. Due to the complicated, interconnected channels, nearly the entire mangrove may be explored by boat. Mangroves are home to numerous endangered species, including crocodiles, deer, snakes, hundreds of different bird species, Bengal tigers, Ganges river dolphins, olive ridley turtles, hawksbill sea turtles, and even Javan rhinoceroses. Number 16, Mud volcanoes, Azerbaijan. Mud volcanoes erupt gases and murky liquid combinations when underground mud deposits are forced to the surface. Near the country's Caspian coast in Azerbaijan are almost 400 of the 700 mud volcanoes that have been identified as existing on the planet. All of the mud volcanoes are fed by a sizable subterranean mud lake. The pits, which were in the news in 2001 when one of the holes started shooting flames up to 15 meters into the air, produce 86% of its gas from methane. Every mud volcano is predicted to have at least one large eruption every 20 years, and in the interim, they offer therapeutic mud baths that are particularly popular with tourists. Number 15, Milford Sound, New Zealand. On the southern island of New Zealand is a place known as Milford Sound, a fjord that is a long, narrow inlet with steep cliffs. It is also a World Heritage Site, a marine reserve, and one of New Zealand's most popular tourist destinations. As it stretches 15 kilometers inland from Dale Point, Milford Sound is completely encircled by high, sharp rock faces and cliffs. The names of numerous cliffs and peaks that surround the fjord are based on how they seem. For instance, the Elephant is a name given to a peak that rises to a height of 1,517 meters and resembles the head of an elephant. Milford Sound, the wettest inhabited area in New Zealand, also causes lush forests to blanket the cliffs. In the waters below, there are several dolphins, penguins, and seals, and occasionally a whale may raise its head as well. There are two magnificent waterfalls that continuously cascade down the rocks, but when it rains, hundreds more do as well. Number 14, the Matterhorn, Italy and Switzerland. The Matterhorn, a peak that divides Switzerland and Italy, is part of the Pennine Alps. The mountain, one of the highest in the Alps, has four incredibly steep sides that face the four cardinal directions and a pyramidal peak at its summit. On the Swiss side, the settlement of Zermatt is dwarfed by the enormous mountain, whereas Broye-Cervigna is on the Italian side. The Matterhorn, one of the last alpine peaks to be climbed, has long given climbers the willies. In July 1865, a group of 7 Swiss climbers made the initial ascent, but 2 of them died on the way down. The first people to reach the summit from the Italian side, Jean-Antoine Carrel and Jean-Baptiste Bic, made another effort to climb the mountain 3 days later. Number 13, Masurian Lake District, Poland. The Masurian Lake District is located in northeastern Poland. It includes more than 2,000 lakes and a surface area of 52,000 square kilometers. Most of the lakes are connected by rivers, forming a huge network of waterways. The region was constructed during the Pleistocene Ice Age and is now a highly popular tourist destination. It offers fantastic boating, fishing, cycling, hiking, and paddling opportunities, making it the perfect destination for any nature enthusiast. In the vicinity, there are 11 natural reserves that serve as a haven for various wild creatures. There, a temperate environment with warm summers and frigid winters when the lakes freeze over predominates. Number 12, Islands of Maldives. The Republic of the Maldives, also referred to as the Maldives, is a collection of 26 uninhabited atolls located 400 kilometers southwest of India in the Indian Ocean. Coral islands that completely or partially enclose lagoons are called atolls. Only 200 of the 1,130 smaller islands that make up the 26 atolls of the Maldives are inhabited. Coral reefs and smaller islands make up each atoll. The Maldives are renowned for their huge variety of vibrant corals in addition to holding more than 300 kinds of tropical fish. 7 new fish species have recently been discovered in the Maldives. An spike in water temperature brought on by El Niño resulted in the terrible loss of 2/3 of the world's coral population in 1998. However, by 2004, methods utilizing electric coral larvae attracting cones that speed up coral growth had been identified, and the reefs are currently being rebuilt. Number 11, Mount Kilimanjaro, Tanzania. Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest point in Africa, is located in Tanzania's Kilimanjaro National Park. In actuality, the 3 distinct cones, Kibo, Mwanzi, and Shira, make up a volcano. The largest of the 3, Kibo, also possesses the mountain's highest summit. The enormous volcano's 5,895 meters height means that it is always covered in snow, despite the fact that it is close to the equator, surrounded by lush tropical and subtropical forests, savannas, and grasslands, and receives up to 2,000 millimeters of rainfall yearly. The base snow is more than 11,000 years old, according to tests on snow samples collected from the top. The amount of snow that covers Kilimanjaro has significantly decreased since 1912, It has 80% less snow today than it had in 1912, and by 2030, it is expected to be snow-free. The two smaller volcanic cones are extinct, but the largest one, Kibo, is only dormant and may erupt once more in the future. Number 10. Gita Grotto, Lebanon. The Gita Grotto is made up of two enormous, interconnected cave networks that span more than 9 kilometers. The incredible caves are just 18 kilometers from Beirut, the country's capital. The lower cave, which can only be accessed by boat by an underground river system and supplies fresh water to more than 1 million people, as well as the higher cave, which has enormous chambers and contains the largest stalactite in the world, are both created by the two systems. Prior to its rediscovery in 1836, numerous pieces of evidence show that humanity had been using caves as a haven for tens of thousands of years. Items from the Early Stone Age, Late Stone Age, and Copper Age have been found in the caves, showing human involvement. These artifacts take the form of pottery fragments, spearheads, and pieces of human bones. Number 9. The Great Barrier Reef, Australia and Papua New Guinea. The Great Barrier Reef, another natural wonder from the original list of 7 wonders, was omitted from the revised list. The largest reef system in the world, it spans 344,400 square kilometers, comprises 900 islands, and has over 3,000 reefs. The reef is a protected World Heritage Site and one of the most dynamic and diverse natural ecosystems in the entire planet. The Great Barrier Reef is the greatest structure ever built by a living creature and is visible from space. This incredible reef is home to more than 30 different species of whales, dolphins, and porpoises, 6 different types of sea turtles, and an astounding 1,500 different species of fish. Number 8. Grand Canyon, USA. Arizona is where the Grand Canyon is located in the United States. The Colorado River is considered to have created the possible canyon's opening 17 million years ago, and it has since proceeded to erode it until it is in the state it is in today. The canyon is 446 kilometers long, 29 kilometers wide, and 1.8 kilometers deep. Due to weathering throughout time, about 2 billion years of Earth's history have been exposed in the rock layers. It's possible that humans initially inhabited the canyon up to 3,000 years ago. Some Pueblo Native Americans who had lived in the Grand Canyon continue to do so today. The canyons, one of the top tourist places on Earth, receives almost 5 million tourists each year. The Grand Canyon, which was a standout on the initial list of the 7 natural wonders, was not included this time. Number 7. Galapagos, Ecuador. The Galapagos Islands are a collection of minuscule, volcanic islands located in the Pacific Ocean. About 972 kilometers to the west of the nation, they make up an ecological marine reserve and national park in Ecuador. There are 18 primary islands in this geological formation, which is quite recent. Since Charles Darwin visited these islands and conducted most of his research there, they are well renowned for their diversity of species and connections to his theory of evolution. In 1957, 97.5% of the Galapagos Islands were designated as national parks, and in 1986, marine reserves were established over 70,000 square kilometers of the surrounding waters. The National Park and the Marine Reserve were each given the UNESCO designation of World Historic Sites in 2001. Number 6. El Yunque, Puerto Rico. El Yunque National Forest, which is situated on Puerto Rico's northeastern coast, is the only tropical rainforest in the U.S. National Forest System. The Sierra de Luquillo Mountains foothills are home to the 113.3 square kilometers rainforest. There are up to 23 indigenous plant species living in the forest, which is home to a variety of vegetation. The woodland lacks distinct seasons as a result of its proximity to the Cancer Tropic. Instead, it has year-round rains that can bring the annual rainfall total to more over 6 meters. Number 5. Dead Sea, Israel, Jordan, and Palestine. The Dead Sea is a body of water that is 67 kilometers long and 18 kilometers wide. It is a hypersaline lake that is 8.6 times saltier than the oceans, with a 33.7% salt saturation. The Dead Sea has the lowest elevation of the planet's surface and is the deepest hypersaline lake in the world, measuring 377 meters, 423 meters below sea level. The Dead Sea earned its moniker because no aquatic life or organisms could survive or thrive there. Spas and resorts typically use the nutrient and mineral-rich bottom muck of the Dead Sea. Additionally, it is effective as a treatment for psoriasis and dermatitis. However, the Dead Sea's high water density is what makes it so popular with tourists. It allows one to float on the water's surface. Number 4. Cliffs of Moher, Ireland. The Cliffs of Moher are located in County Clare, Ireland. They plummet into the Atlantic Ocean vertically from heights of 120 to 214 meters. Because of the stunning vistas they provide, the cliffs receive more than 1 million tourists each year. Among the many species that live on the cliffs are 30,000 birds. The cliffs have made appearances in a number of films, including Leap Year, Princess Bride, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, as well as several episodes of Father Ted, in addition to tourists and wildlife. Number 3. Butaina Islands, United Arab Emirates. In Abu Dhabi's canals is a private game reserve called Butaina. This tiny island chain is encircled by sizable coral reefs and seaweed beds. Tourists cannot approach it since it is a UNESCO Marine Biosphere Reserve. Coral normally develops best in water that is between 23 degrees Celsius and 28 degrees Celsius, but in this case, it also grows well in water that may get up to 35 degrees Celsius, making the island's abundance of at least 16 different types of coral important for understanding climate change. The endangered dugong and hawksbill turtle are among the many creatures that call the islands home. Number 2. Black Forest, Germany. The Black Forest is located in the southwest of Germany. Due to the extensive tree cover that almost completely conceals the sun, the Romans gave it the name Black Forest. Firs and pines make up the majority of the forest species due to the desire for wood, which resulted in heavy cutting in 1999 that devastated acres of the forest and reduced its size in half. Additionally, the gigantic earthworm Lumbricus botanensis has no other homes. The Black Forest, which is also where Black Forest ham and Black Forest cake are supposed to have originated, is home to numerous small towns and villages. Number 1. Angel Falls, Venezuela. Angel Falls, which rises 979 meters, is the tallest waterfall in the world. Discovered in the 1994 designated UNESCO World Heritage Site Cañima National Park in Venezuela. Over a kilometer lower, in the Corep River, the waterfall plunges from Mount Ollantaytambo. The name of this spectacular waterfall honors Jimmy Angel, the first American pilot to fly over the falls. Despite the difficulty of reaching there, travelers must fly to the Cañima camp, then hike through the bush and take boats up the river. The falls are one of Venezuela's most popular tourist attractions. Excursions to the falls are only feasible during the rainy season when there is enough water to move the boats upriver and see the spectacular waterfall.